Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So
Hello,
nice to see
everybody.
everyone here.
Hey.
Wonderful. Okay, well, today we have Andrea Olsen from Go Diaper Free, and I'm so excited to have this conversation. Andrea, I've been following your work for a really long time. You were actually a huge inspiration to me when I got started in all of this. I did elimination communication with my baby, my first baby, back in 2012. I hadn't heard of you then, but I happened to discover it like the day before she was born. So I just started right away. And then later on, as I started recommending it to people, I found you had all the best guides and your books were amazing. And yeah, I remember when you launched the Tidy Potty, and I got one for then my third child, I think. And so I've done it with all five of my kiddos so far, and I'm recommending it all the time because um, yeah, for one, all the reasons it makes such a big difference. And the other, for everyone here in my community, we're doing so much with circadian rhythms. And for babies, the digestive rhythm is a huge deal and helping them get regulated and all that. So I'm always saying, like, your baby's circadian rhythm is dependent on you. All the rhythms are dependent on you. And so potty independence to me is like a really like the last stage of all of the work that we do in development.
I
So
love it.
excited. Thank you so much. If you'd
Yay.
like to introduce and share some more of your story, that would be great for everyone. Everyone's really excited. I've had so many positive messages when I let them know that you're going to be coming in today.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so thrilled to be here. And one of my best friends actually texted me and she's like, "You're going to be on with Nico. We love her." So the birth community, like I'm pretty immersed in that as well in Asheville, where I live. Um, and wow, I'm so excited that you found me so early on because my whole goal has been to make infant pottying really, really easy so
Yeah.
that people do it. Because if you don't try it, you won't know how amazing it is. And so that's just been always the thing. Oh, there's a baby. I had my sixth baby 3 years ago. I am officially done. Although my daughter today was like, "Mom, when you get remarried, will you have one more? Because I want a boy. I want another baby in a onesie and just like carry him around." And I'm like, "I'm 47, but okay. We'll see what's in plan here because my rhythms are great. I'm very fertile, so I'm like, bring it on." um, but also, it gets harder. I think the last one I had at 44, it got a little bit harder. But EC has always been easy and it's always been part of our lives. I've had all of my babies out of diapers by the time they were walking. Whether I felt they were ready or I was ready or not, we just did it. And let's see, I have hardly ever had to change a poopy diaper. Except with my last one. I'm not sure. It's like they're all a little bit different. So it depends on their temperament. And she is a firecracker. I'm very glad I don't have to potty train her, and I've never had to potty train any of my six kids. So I've done only EC with all of them. And I would say nighttime between 17 and like 36 months is very random with nighttime. We've been studying it for 15 years. And it's more temperament based. But yeah, we have had a community for 15 years, ever since my first son was born. And I was like, how do I do this? I've read the books and I don't get it. I wanted to make it really visual and simple for people. So I've developed this whole community. It's worldwide. We've helped over 1 million babies do this. And my goal is just to like expose more people to the idea of it so that there's an option. And then along the way, people were like, "I found you too late." So then we also teach potty training and we have coaches who help people. It's like in a world of AI, we have actual people who help people. And I love that about our community. And
Yeah.
yeah, we're just trying to help attune to babies and try our best, and make it a way that makes being a mom or a dad easier and more confident because that's definitely been my experience.
Definitely. I shared that one. I always say that too, actually. Like the moms who don't do it or dads. Because yeah, my husband totally will help with the pottying. And then the older children too, you mentioned that,
Yes,
like having them in there. And so yeah, all of the older
they
kids are
totally
so
help.
helpful. They'll like shepherd the little one to the potty. So and
Yeah,
that sometimes gets easier and easier as your pack gets bigger.
it does get easier.
Yeah.
Actually, it totally does. Like even today, Marilyn was like, "I need to go pee." And all of them were like in their different ways going, "Go on, let's go. Good job. Yay, let's go." And she's 3.5 and they're still like very aware of her potty needs, which is
Yes.
so I feel like that's how it is in intact communities where they're living in villages still, which is kind of getting rare in this world. But like all the bigger kids would always just run in packs with the little kids and take care of them. So it makes it makes sense that the more kids you have, the easier EC becomes. But
Yeah.
also people are like, I'm having my second child. How can I potty train and potty the baby? And are we gonna have regressions? And
Hmm.
it's like all the narrative from mainstream potty training is seeping in. So hopefully today we can just, get everything a little clearer, whatever you want to ask me. And I'm excited just to be sharing about it because it's like I never wanted kids. I actually thought babies were stinky and like I don't want to change diapers and they're fussy. But my experience has been so different.
Yes. Oh, good. Yeah, mine too. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to have children either until I did start having children. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, yes,
They're
this is
kind of
all.
intoxicating. You're just like, okay, I'll have another one.
Yeah. Yep. And especially, yeah, when you have things like EC and, have, yeah, childbirth and all of it is just like, yeah, it all is compounding. So I'm really glad that you brought up the older baby thing. And on the registration page, everyone put in all of their questions, and the questions were ranging from like, whoa, I've never heard of this before, like I just want to learn more, to people who are having very specific questions with the very nuanced challenges. And so that was where I was like, yeah, Andrea's going to be the perfect person for this, because I'm always like, just go do it, you'll figure it out. And you're like, oh yeah, but you this problem and this problem and this problem, you have the
Yeah.
step by step.
This
So
is the
that
thing I could talk about endlessly. Like I have all the answers in my brain somewhere. So we'll go for it.
exactly, yeah, awesome. So one of the ones that was the first person that I actually recommended someone to you directly was years ago. And this woman was, just like you said, pregnant and had her older baby, and he was almost 3. And her midwife was like, "You've got to potty train this older kid. Like, you've just got to do it. You'll have such a better time with your newborn if you do it." So I went and found your 18 months and up potty training guide. You had a little 4-part email series at that point. I sent it to her. She did it, and then she texts me like a week later. It's like, I can't believe I didn't do this sooner. Why was I waiting? But she was so terrified because, yeah, you just think like it's going to be messy, it's going to be terrible. So yeah,
Oh
for the
yeah, it's the fear. It's not actually if you know what you're doing. And I'll just tout my method. Like I'll toot my own horn. Like if you do my method, it's 7 days or less, and we're not doing force, and we're not doing bribes, and we're not doing anything weird. It's just kind of the whole that little email series. I actually finally turned it into just like one PDF, so you can just read it in a sitting and just be like, oh, okay, I have permission. I can do this now. And y'all, in 1957, 4 years before disposables hit the market, 92% of United States, like American babies, were potty trained by 18 months.
yeah.
That's not an average. So, like
Mhm.
12 to 18 months is the Montessori sensitive period for toilet learning. It's where they're mimicking, they want to do everything that you're doing. And that's why they show interest at that age. So EC, we start at newborn to 18 months, anywhere in there. And then like the 12 to 18 months is I'm actually writing another book about the 12 to 18-month period because it's becoming really popular to do it at that age. And then
Great.
there's the like, if you're 18 months and up, it doesn't matter how old your child is, like just do it. But also I'm like, oh, it's so easy. But I also say that about birth. Just do, it's like
Yeah.
because I've had the experience of, really positive experiences with birth. I'm like, if we do certain things, it can make it easier. It's the same thing with potty learning. It's the same thing with breastfeeding. Like some of us will never have the ideal in any of those, but there are things we can learn to make it easier. And I feel like as moms, we just share it with each other and we can help each other out.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah. The mama circle. And I always tell that to people when they're coming in to learn too. I'm like, this is so great. I'm so glad you're learning this. And you're going to be going out into your community, and you're also going to start sharing this in your mom circles. And I do have women write me and they're like, oh, I'm so glad I brought to that class, because the very day, like that afternoon, I went to tea with my moms and then they all wanted to learn more. I'm like, yep,
Exactly.
you're the local node of expertise on this subject from coming to one
We're going to
hour
spread
webinar.
out and fractal out into all these different communities. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. And it really is happening, because
Yeah.
when I did EC 14 years ago, amazing, it's been that long, I was the only one.
Yeah.
And
Same.
it ranged from like, WTF, are you crazy, to, oh my gosh, this child's so amazing, she's gonna like rule the world. Like, actually, all babies can do like,
All
we're
babies
not.
can't. You know what I was accused of? One of my best friends, we all had babies at the same time. She was like, you have a let's just say an authoritarian no, something about being better than other people complex. Like as a mom, I'm like, no,
Oh,
I don't. I'm actually just doing something that my baby's asking for. Why does that make
yeah.
superior? She said it has superiority complex, and I was like, no, I'm
Hmm.
just doing something that is just lost wisdom. Why does that make me? It doesn't make me better. I just like have a secret. You could
Yeah.
try it, you know. So you either
Yeah.
get like a reaction like, "Ooh, I don't like you," or "Wow, how do I do that?" You
Hmm.
know. And I don't mind anymore what the reaction is. I just figure this is my purpose. Let's just,
Right.
but yeah, 15 years ago is when I started too. And it
Hmm.
was definitely, I was the only person who I knew who was doing it.
Right. And nowadays, and I was surprised because there were quite a few people who signed up. They were like, whoa, I've never heard of this. Tell me more. But a lot of people in most of the calls I have and in most of my local circles, I think nowadays everyone is aware of it and
Yeah.
many are doing it in one form
Yes.
or another. And
It's changed. I'm so excited. It's
and so
people
that's what,
people recognize me and they're like, I did it with both of my babies. And I'm just like, cool, yay. My kids are like, Mom, you're famous. I'm like, nah, not really, but kind of. For what? It's weird. But
yeah.
yeah, so I'm excited to share more, especially for those of y'all who don't know what it is or like how to do it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, definitely like one of the main questions that came up over and over for everyone is when do I start? Am I too early or am I too late?
Yeah. Okay. So anywhere 0 to 18 months, you're starting. You can start. If you're over 18 months and even like 16 months, really, we want to start looking at potty training because developmentally, toddlers want mastery. And it's really not developmentally appropriate to do EC anymore. At that age, in an intact community, they just be taking themselves. So we want to teach a potty training skill at that time. EC is more of a journey. So it's like teamwork and you're tuning into each other and you're syncing up in whatever way that looks and until they can do it independently. So starting with a newborn is the easiest. And I always do polls. It's like 45 to 55% of people start between 0 and 4 months. And if you're pregnant, you read up on it and you can start the first week because they only go to the bathroom. They go to the bathroom very rarely the first several days. So, and you're just sitting there with each other anyway, and you're observing, you're just kind of like expanding your awareness. And we'll get into like some detail. I have really easy ways to kind of start if you're in that newborn phase. And then they start to get mobile. So, like, you can start between 4 and 12 months. Just know it's kind of a moving target and it's different. But we want to lower the bar. And I have the 4 easy catches, which I love just teaching people those because during mobility is like, there's so much going on. They're developing so fast, but they also are asking for and prefer, like, we all have instincts as mammals to stay clean and dry. So the instincts are stronger in the beginning. And then as we teach our children to go into the diaper and kind of, we don't really ignore them because we don't know any better because we are in a diapering culture and it's not our fault. But we just don't, we kind of ignore. So let's just call this, we ignore their cues because we don't know what they are and we teach them to go into the diaper. So the longer they're in the diaper, um the there's going to be a different way that you handle getting them out of it. It's not that it's harder, it's just different. So we got mobile babies and then we've got the young toddler. If you're between 12 and 18 months, you're starting and finishing and you might be dealing with daycare. I actually have a mini course on it. It's so hard to, it's probably one of your questions, but we do it before and after daycare. We potty train at home when we're ready to wrap it up. And then we show the daycare worker that they're done. So, like, there's some different nuances to different ages. But if you're going to do the whole thing like I did, it's from the beginning, from birth all the way till walking. You start to take the diapers off. And then we start to teach them those building blocks, these little pieces of information, like processes, little tasks that they do to make this whole thing a routine. And we equip them during 12 to 18 months. And we're usually wrapped up in the daytime. Somewhere between then, they start to tell us every time. And it should be pretty fluid. Of course, we're super busy. We have daycares, we have all the things going on, we have other kids, but that's the goal. And then if you feel like you've totally missed the window and you're kind of towards the end of the 0 to 18 months, it's totally fine. Just do it with your next baby and just do potty training with this one. Like, it doesn't make, it's not like a badge, we don't have to do EC if your child's super precocious and they're 15 months old and they are like on every single thing and they're just really you get each other so well, you could probably just potty train and be fine. So just clothing manipulation and other things might be a little bit harder. So yeah, each stage is different, but that's the range.
Yeah. How do you how do you describe the difference between EC and potty training?
That's a great question. Potty training is teaching a skill and it is a finite end thing. So you are done with
Yeah.
diapers. It's the parent really taking we are, I know this is tough because like I grew my kids as a gentle parent, attachment parenting, all that stuff. But there is a time and a place where you just have to take the lead and put your foot down. And it's like you're embracing your parental authority. And that is the thing with potty training. Like
Mhm.
if diapers weren't available in the grocery store, you would have to put your foot down and say, we don't have diapers anymore. And we're not doing it anymore. So you kind of have to take it. It's like a mission. If you're in the military, like we have military families, they're like, yeah, we did mission potty training and we committed to it. And it was turning the boat around. So it's teaching a skill. EC is elimination communication. So we are going off of instincts and hormones and rhythms in the day and conveniences for you to help them with something that they're communicating about and that they want you to do. We're decoding them, another layer of communication that just opens up all of this connection, all of this awareness. I know that it creates secure attachment in children. So we are attuning. We're being responsive, and it's when the time comes and they start to resist or assert themselves, we are teaching them so that they can do it all themselves. So it's like this kind of teamwork thing where you're guiding, so you're more of a guide or a facilitator, and with potty training it's more like you're the boss. You could call it facilitation, but it's also you're the
Okay.
boss. This is what we're
Yeah.
doing, we're done.
Mm.
So it's potty training is not EC, they're very different processes.
Yeah, awesome. That's really helpful. And that's, yeah, just kind of my sense of it too. And I have actually heard of adults that remember being potty trained in that way that you said. They're like, yeah, my mom told me there were no more diapers.
They just don't exist,
And it
they're
was just
gone.
like a hard stop. Yep, there's no more.
I mean, so when we potty train, we often do nighttime and naps separately. So then we have to say, well, you're still learning, so you're going to wear it right now. But yeah, if during the pandemic, we all experienced that shortage of all the things. And one of them was diapers. And I became really popular really fast because people are like, oh gosh, I need a potty train.
Whoa.
And it worked better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because you don't
Yeah,
have any diapers.
it does. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, you're just like throw everyone thrown into the deep end there.
Pretty much.
So the nighttime, yeah, nighttime dryness is yeah a big one, and like you said, that's where the long tail is. So from the circadian rhythm standpoint, like the poop rhythm consolidates like month one, month two, and so they've tested babies' microbiomes, and it's like they start having that daily oscillation where like what's going on in the day and what's going on at night are totally different, like very, very quickly, and then you can see that in that they then start pooping only once or sometimes even no times per day, really quickly. But for the pee rhythm to consolidate to daytime the way, like, we, as adults, we don't pee in the night usually if we're healthy, pregnant women aside, we pee in the day. But that part takes a lot longer from a biological standpoint. And we also experience it, like you said, there's a lot of temperament differences too with regard to how that all goes. So in my community, we're always working with like the light signals, getting daylight, getting darkness.
Mm,
And we know for adults that having our eating rhythm in the daytime matters, but then for little babies, they're eating around the clock, and so their digestive system is still kind of working around the clock, especially the babies who are drinking milk.
yeah.
So I'm excited and happy that you're here to be able to talk with about that nighttime aspect of it because it is kind of the longer tail. Most moms can figure out the poop thing pretty quick because the cues are really obvious. You only have to catch it like once a day or once every other day, and then
Right.
eventually, like like that part's just kind of like the easy part. But the
Yeah.
peas, that's the one that can end up everywhere. Your bed soaked. Like if it, even if you are doing it right, like you said, some babies are just like the temperament thing. So I
Yeah.
love
And I
to hear.
wanted to mention too, we use diapers as a backup. So I've only had maybe a handful of readers over the last 15 years of people in our community who did not use a diaper at all from day one.
Wow.
So yeah. And it doesn't what I've learned, what we've learned is it doesn't matter if you use cloth or disposables or compostables.
Hmm.
It's whatever backup you use. We call it a backup. So when we start to do EC, if you start today, you're just becoming aware. You're like, oh, I know about it. You're going to start considering the diaper as a backup, not a full time toilet. So that changes a lot of things. But oftentimes, like some of my kids, if I took the disposable off at night, they would pee the bed in the middle of the night. If I kept it on, they wouldn't. So
Hmm.
I use the backup that works the best to keep them dry, keep them signaling, and keep our sanity. There's a balance there, right? The other thing I wanted to mention too is I don't know, have you done any research into antidiuretic hormone and when that wears off and all that stuff?
A little bit, but I'd love if you'd share some more.
Yeah. So I was taking a doula class actually with Wapio, and I was just preparing for another unassisted, well, my first unassisted birth, which did not happen. I've had 3 out of 6 unassisted births,
Yeah.
where there's no doctor, no midwife. Y'all probably know what that is. Um, in preparation for that, I wanted to learn more about the biology of birth and all of that. So she was teaching us about antidiuretic hormone and how pregnant women have a lot less of that. And that's why we're peeing all the time, even if there's not a baby pushing on our bladder. You're like, I'm tiny. Why am I peeing all the time?
Hmm.
And she says you have a lower level of that. Well, I got to thinking and about babies and their sleep cycles and their rhythms, which you probably know more about than I do, and how eventually they connect their sleep cycles together and they're completely sleeping through the night. But there is that shifting and that pulling out of the deep sleep into the light sleep. And that's where the antidiuretic hormone wears off, the bladder fills, and they need to go pee. So between the first 0 to 4 months, I think is an awesome time to do nighttime EC, especially if you're co-sleeping or a side cradle, whatever, or side carring. This is a top hat potty that we sell at tinyandies.com. And it's a newborn potty you hold between your legs. So you don't even have to get out of your bed. So when the baby wakes up in the middle of the night, instead of just shoving a breast in her mouth, I'm going to pick up the baby, cradle her in my arms, hold her over the top hat, say, psst. She's going to go because she will wake up dry. You'll be like, wait, my baby's dry. So what do I do? Do I nurse back to sleep? Do I change her because there's nothing to change? And this just gets really confusing. And then they nurse and then they pee their diaper and then you have to do the whole thing again. And this is just like, I don't know how y'all do it, but there's it's confusing. I like to have the baby wakes up. I hold them over the potty. They go to the bathroom. I've got like a gentle salt lamp on or something. And then I put the diaper back on because it's already dry. And then we nestle together in the sideline nursing and we go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And so that's like the baby can get a full feed and go right to sleep so much easier with that potty
Mhm.
tunity. We call
Yeah.
that an opportunity to go potty. So yeah, that's what I know about it. And also, we always love to do the wake up pee because
Mhm.
the hormone wears off for every mammal. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter who you are or what raccoon, bear, doesn't matter. It's all the same. And that's why
Mhm.
the animals aren't peeing in their dens because, like,
Yeah.
we're wired to hold it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I always share that too, that I actually take the potty outside a lot of times for the first pee. And that's one of the great things about
Oh,
having the tiny potty. And also, like where I live, we have relative privacy, but then they get the daylight waking thing. They go out, they love being outside, and then the light, and then it's like cue the pee. And then, yeah,
oh,
it works
I
out
love
super
that.
smooth. And it's like all the signals come together. And that's what for so long we would have done as mammals. We wouldn't have had indoor plumbing.
It's
So,
natural. Oh, by the way, like if we were just born incontinent and peeing and pooping wherever, we never would have we wouldn't be here today. We
yeah.
would have all died out from disease a long time ago. Like mammals are specifically made to be clean and dry and to signal about that and communicate.
Hmm.
And as parents, we've just been kind of taught out of that
Yeah.
habit. Just like the light. First thing I do in the
Hmm.
morning is open my curtains too. And I
Yeah.
and I want to be in the sun or be in the light. Um, if you want to get pregnant, you're supposed to block out all the light. Like,
Exactly.
Mafio taught me that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to add those couple of things because there's a lot that aligns with it so well that doing infant pottying is usually a lot easier than conventional diapering and potty training and stuff because it's got hormones and instincts behind it. Like
Yeah.
your baby doesn't want to go. They'll wriggle and squirm, and that's because they need to go pee.
Hmm.
So it's like there's a couple things like that. You just start to pick up on it and go, oh, wait, there's something else here.
Hmm. Yeah, I've seen that so many times, and I love yeah, you cued me into like it was a kind of a small study, but they're actually starting to study this stuff, and they, showed that babies had a lot less unexplained crying when the moms were doing EC compared with the rates of what we think that unexplained crying for a baby is. And I've definitely experienced it with my children that when they need to go pee and I'm not reading their cues, then they'll get very antsy and agitated, and
Yeah.
that's when they start acting out and all kinds of stuff. They're crying over nothing, and like they haven't peed yet because they're expecting to go. And instead, they're trying to hold it as long as they can.
Right.
And yeah,
And
whereas the
let's talk
biggest
about
thing,
that too. Like if
yeah.
a baby's crying and you're a first time mom, for example, and maybe you've experienced this, some of y'all have babies in your lap right now, and you just try everything. You try nursing, maybe a pacifier, maybe swaddling, maybe shushing, maybe, what is it called? The five S's, whatever you're
Yeah.
trying to try to soothe the baby and trying to figure out and decode what's going on. Well, at the end of it, you might check the diaper and be like, oh, you were poopy. That's what you were trying to say. Or you had peed yourself. But if you rewind back to the beginning of that fussy cycle, they're actually asking you to go to the bathroom and they don't want to do it in their diaper,
Hmm.
especially if you've just fed. So, for instance, Krista has a new baby on her chest. When that baby wakes up, the hormone's going to wear off. You can hold baby over a potty and they're going to go. Um, After you nurse or bottle feed or whatever y'all do, about 5-10 minutes afterwards, the first fuss is a signal. So you've fully fed them. There's literally nothing. They just woke up. You fed them. There's nothing else they could possibly need. They're being held. So, like, what else could it be? It's a pee signal. It's always a pee signal, the first fuss after feeding. And I just love little tricks like that where you're just like, oh, looking backwards, that actually makes a lot of sense. I've seen that. And
Hmm.
and that's about as complicated as it gets until they start to get mobile. But it's just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mobile baby's a whole other thing.
whole
Abigail in
other
the chat
thing.
is like
There's ways through it.
pee on the changing table. And so that's one
Right.
of the things that I suggest to moms is like put the little potty by the changing table, even if they've already gone pee or
Yep.
whatever. A lot of times, if you do give them another potty opportunity, they'll finish. They haven't actually gone all the way. And that's
Yeah.
why they're still like squirming and trying to get away. And
Yes.
they're not actually done yet. They just couldn't hold. So what's in the diaper is actually just the part that they let out that they didn't even want to let out.
It's a
And
pre-P.
yeah.
Yeah. And you know that we've already named 3 of the 4 easy catches that I teach. So this is
Oh,
great.
yeah.
We'll just recap. Wake ups when they're pooping, when they poop, you say gently say wait, just like that. Wait. And take off the diaper and then have them finish over the potty and make a little grunting noise or over the sink or over a mixing bowl or over the toilet, whatever you want. Um, so poops, if you notice they're pooping, just have them wait. Or if you know the time of day, you're expecting it, just do
Mhm.
it. Like why wait to clean it up when they're so easy to poop train. They're so easy to poop train. 0 to 12 months, so easy. Um, so wake ups, poops, diaper changes. Sometimes you'll change them and they're dry, and you're like, I've had so many people Google that and be like, and they found me. Like,
Mm,
why is my baby waking up? Or I'm changing her and she's dry. Like, what do I even do? Put it back
yeah.
on? Like, is she waiting? Is he? And then he pees on her or whatever, and she's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So diaper changes is another of the 4 easy catches, and then the fourth one is like before you take them in or out of something, you want them to be comfortable. But like if you're baby wearing, then that could be a good thing to do before or right when you take them out, before and after the car seat, the high chair, the bath. These are just easy times when it's really common for a baby to have been holding it and want to go. And they'll
Hmm.
never hold it so long that it hurts.
Yeah.
So there's also that. Like if you miss it, no big deal. They'll just pee in their diaper. It's not a huge deal.
Hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that is great. And so one of the questions, the other ones is like the babies, and especially this is with the night potty. And I've noticed this with my babies too. Sometimes I wake up, I put them on the night potty, and they're like, great, that was just what I wanted. Other times they're like, and they're like totally like not into it at all. One of the things I've noticed is in the wintertime when it's cold and the little potty is cold, so I'll actually just do an air hold so they don't touch the plastic, and then they're happy with that. But I was
Yeah.
sure that you have lots more tips and ideas for what to do with that time.
Oh my gosh, that's such a huge one. It is something that will make you stop doing it because you're like, oh my gosh, am I ruining my baby? Am I doing something wrong? Are they broken? Am I broken? There is a potty cozy that we have at Tiny Andy's that goes over the mini potty, so it can
Hmm.
make it warmer for at night. But even with that, sometimes it's just a matter of I am prioritizing sleep or feeding and sleeping. I don't want anything else right now.
Mhm.
Um, with that, we just let them be. So nighttime 101 is like, if it helps everybody in the family get more sleep, we do it. If it doesn't, we don't.
Mhm.
So if they start to resist, also sometimes they just want to go in the big toilet. They get to be like 7 or 8 months, and you've got them, whether they're in a crib or in your bed, and you try to potty them at night in your bed as usual with the top hat potty or whatever. And they're like, oh no, I don't want this. You walk them over to your bathroom where you go to the bathroom and they'll go.
Mhm.
So it's like there is a super strong awareness of where are the adults doing this. And this
Mhm.
desire to do it there starts to crop up as well. And then there's sometimes just like, just, I want to go back to sleep, leave me alone. But the other thing I realized not till my sixth baby, she loves a pacifier. And I think the more
Uh,
babies I've had, the more pacifiers we have used. But when I give her something to suckle when she's on the potty in the middle of the night or when she was a baby, it worked to calm her down and then she'd relax and go.
mm,
So used to I would use the boob. Passy works just as well. My finger would work, whatever it was. She wanted something to suckle in the middle of the night just to comfort her and like to
yeah.
go. So those are a couple of tricks. Also run some water sometimes if I'm doing it in the sink, and they'll just relax. But think about yourself when you're like in the middle of the night, woken up. You're not with it. So
Yeah.
it does. You hit a bump in the road, and then it just comes down to what backup keeps them and the bed dry and y'all getting really good sleep. Then put that off till later. It's
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I never worry about misses or like, if we don't do it one night. And I was reassuring a mom recently, actually, 'cause she was like, Nico, I just feel like I'm failing at EC. And we were in a mom circle, and one of the other moms who she also has 5 times kids, and she looks at her, and the woman who was worried was having her first baby, and that other mom like said exactly what I said. She was like, but no matter what style of potty training or potty learning you do, there's going to be some moment where you're sure that it's not working
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you
And then
know,
you just choose one of the easy catches, do it every day as an offering. You don't have to get it. It's not potty training. They don't have to do it.
yeah.
But if you, the parent, keep up at least one little touch point a day with this, it's an exposure technique. Looking back, you'll be like, oh, you were teething. Oh, you were sick. Oh, it's because we traveled, whatever it was.
Hmm.
And then you get back on track because you have kept with that one time a day. Maybe it's just the wake ups, maybe it's just the poops.
Hmm.
But it counts. So I just want to say something to everybody is like, this might sound crazy. This might sound like way too much work, but just take one of the easy catches, try it today, and see what if that fits into your life. And if it doesn't, you try a different one. And like it doesn't, it's not all or nothing. It's never been all or nothing. Um, except for when before we were even in this sort of modern lifestyle.
Hmm.
Then it was all or nothing because hygiene. You had to keep, you had to work together.
Yeah.
But these days it's like it's very low bar. So just do whatever you feel like you can do and what brings y'all connection and helps and exposes them so that if you just do it like really half, you know, until like 16, 17 months, then just potty train then. Or
Hmm.
like if you don't feel like it at all and you're like, this sounds great, but that's for some other mom, that's great. But potty train between 16, 18, 20 months at the most. And if your kid's over 20 months, potty train now.
Yeah.
Like you know what you know when you know it. But I would say one of the biggest things that keeps people from starting is thinking that it has to be all or nothing. And
Hmm.
like, if you try to do anything in parenting all or nothing, you are going to fail and you're going to be so sad about yourself. It's like, drop the bar lower. We don't have to be perfect. My therapist always says for a secure attachment for our kids, we just have to attune and repair. And that is all. So we're trying to figure out what they need and try to provide it. And then repair when we miss the mark. We're like, oh, sorry about that. And I try to kind of do better next time. And that's really all we have to do to be a good mom. I need reminded of that every day because I'm always like, oh, I'm a single mom with 6 kids. And I'm just like, oh, things are so hard. But I'm doing well if I'm doing those two things. And in the world, my kids are great. So that was a tangent, but I just you do not have to you do not have to I every other pee, catch the poops, you're good. Like
Hmm.
that's good enough.
Yeah. Yep, it is. And then, yeah, the children are learning and watching, especially for those moms who do have more kids. Like, I just so sweet seeing, and they, like my kids, they'll hold the doll over the potty, like just like they're like
Yeah.
hold the doll up to nurse, like it
Yep.
just becomes part of it. So I think that, yeah, culturally relearning, and yeah, one of the other things I was thinking about with regard to being all in and the moms who want to do like all the time without a diaper. When the way that we lived in the time that we had to do that, like our houses didn't, like our doors didn't have latches. You weren't like it was very close to get outside, earthen floors, like just very different way of like cleaning and like access compared with what we have now. And now, yeah, it is. There's just like more to it with our lives. So it makes sense that the way that we deal with potty learning has to fit in with our lives. So
Right.
one of the other things that you give permission about that I think is really great are the moms who have daycare or working like,
Yep.
I'm out here and my youngest he just turned 1. So he's, back with all the other children back at the house. And yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'll give him a potty opportunity, put the diaper, get him all dressed off, and then pass him off. And if they are like, oh, we see a cue, they'll put him on the potty and help him with it. But I'm not expecting them to do it the way that I would do it. Like I'll carry him
Right.
around naked on my hip and like he's in the carrier and all that. And he's really clear that he doesn't want to pee on me. So he goes, but I don't expect everyone else to do that. So same thing, sending them off to daycare or whatever. You're not having to train your daycare to do that with your baby at all. And it's not like they're so intelligent to be like appropriate for the different
They're
stages.
flexible. They're
Exactly.
adaptable. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, they know that mommy's not around. It's not going to be the same. And you can even tell them like, hey, you're going to wear this diaper today, while you're not with me. And that's fine. They don't really mind. They're just like, whatever. They roll with it. If you're worried about it, they're going to worry about it and get
Right.
dysregulated. Yeah.
Could you share a little bit about EC in public
In public. Yeah. Oh, God.
and public
I am the,
bathrooms and
I'm the woman. I don't know if you've seen on my Instagram. It's at GoDiaper for y'all. If you want to, I'm the one who has one of these at a restaurant. I'm like potting my newborn at the table, because it's just baby. It's like angel water or something. It's just pee, or it's just poop and it doesn't smell because I'm breastfeeding. Um, I'm the one who does that, but I don't let everybody know, and nobody knows. I do it and I've done so many airplanes, boats, cars that are parked, like so many sides of the road. I have pottied in so many situations in public. I do it very discreetly. I would never potty my baby anywhere that I wouldn't have my dog go to the bathroom. Um, just very much like aware of other people that they're sharing the space with me, and they may not agree that pottying a baby is the coolest thing in the world, like I think.
Mhm.
Um, and often, like if there's a toilet, if there's a portable porta john or whatever, or a public toilet or whatever, I will always use that if that's open, if that's available. One of my favorite things to do though is keep a mini potty or a top hat potty or both in the car.
Mhm.
And then I will pull over and we will go over the grass. We will go in the potty. We will do whatever we need to do. I always open like both doors, or if I have the minivan, I'll put it in the minivan. Um, just to kind of protect them from sight. And also, they get really distracted too. Some people will pop open the hatch in their Subaru or whatever and stick the baby in there on the potty. Um, I always like to bring a toilet seat that they're used to at home so that they can. I've even traveled with like the seat reducer with one of my babies. She would only go on Dora. She never even watched cartoons, but she just wanted the Dora the Explorer potty seat. So it's like literally whatever works that you want to bring. I love the Potette Plus. I have my very short mini potty and my top hat potty. I love those too. We are never without a potty in public. And then I've done it in the aisle at Target, very discreetly squatting behind a rack of clothes over the top hat potty. And then I stuck that sucker. And then, of course, my baby's like dry because you hold him in a deep squat. She's poops in it. I put her back on my lap, put her diaper on. I'm great at lap changes. Like I don't even have to put them on the floor. And then I stick the top hat potty at the bottom of the stroller, go to the bathroom, rinse it out, dump it out. My baby's already asleep in the stroller because she's so happy that she just pooped.
Yeah.
So I am I am there for it. And then also I have the diaper backup in case I can't.
Yeah.
But everywhere. And I have this thing. This is a flush hush. I invented this because my daughter Isadora was out of diapers at 15 months. No, 13 months. She was telling me every time at 15 months. Never had an accident. Then she goes into kindergarten and she comes home in different shoes. And I was like, why are you wearing different shoes? And she wouldn't tell me. Well, she had an accident because the toilet paper she was trying to cover the auto sensor in the toilet um, to keep it from flushing while she sat on it kept blowing off.
Mm.
And so she was so scared she just peed her pants. She hated the
Oh.
auto flush. So I told her yesterday, I was like, did you know I invented this because of you? And they're these little things and they're like suction and you stick it on the auto flush sensor so it can't see the child. And then they go and then they can pull it off when they're ready for it to flush because it will traumatize your child if a public toilet goes off while they're sitting on it. And then I mean, it really does. It's anybody's that way. It's awful. I hate it when it happens to me, but like I had to find a solution for that. You can
Yeah.
bring sticky notes or a sticker or whatever, but
That's great because I remember sitting there and I would just keep waving my hand.
yes,
Like, there's still someone here. There's still someone.
I'm here. And then you set it off by doing that. I will also, some of my kids, Twyla won't even go. It's still to this day, and she's 7, unless I cover the eye with my hand. She's like, stand there and cover it.
Yeah.
And usually I have another baby in my arms. And I'm just like, I can't do this.
Hmm.
Flush Hush, you can get that at Tiny Undies too. Oh my gosh, it's a game changer. Now they won't go without it. I just, I handed one to a woman in Walmart. Her son was so terrified. And I was like, do you want this prototype of something I'm working on?
Yeah.
And he went. Oh my
Yay.
God, this is so cool. But so in public toileting, like we want to have a familiar toilet seat. We want to make it as comfortable and quiet as possible. And we want to usually offer before you shop and right when you're done. And if you just want to do it all in your car, it's going to be a controlled environment and way more success.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a lot to say about that.
Yeah. No, I know it was. I remember when you launched the Flush Hush, and I was just like, this woman is so brilliant and so experienced.
I know. Why is auto flush even a thing? Says Abigail. I agree.
Yeah, I don't like
They're
it
terrible.
either.
Or those hand blow dryers. They're so loud.
I know they really are. Yeah, there's so many things that make it, yeah, difficult. There's like
Very.
stringers, there's
Oh
yeah, and
yeah.
then it's super cramped.
Oh
So
yeah.
a lot of modern bathrooms, like I remember the stalls being really tiny and some of them are, but a lot of them are starting to have more space, which is great for going in and you have I know we have some other moms here that have many children. And so you go in and you have a whole gaggle and you're like all waiting in line and you're like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, if there's like a baby you can't even reach. So like
Oh yeah.
take
Oh
the
yeah. I've been in those I've been in those
yeah,
situations so many times.
yeah,
That's why I'm
yeah.
like, let's just do it in the car
Mhm.
for the youngest one. And then the older ones can go in their own stuff. Oh, it's just a logistics, right?
It is,
It
yes.
is. And if
Uh,
you just have one, it's like, just remember you can use the backup and it's not a big deal. And I do have little courses on outings too, because I just can't. There's so much we've learned about what works, but
mhm.
basically we want them to be comfortable and feel secure. And
Yes.
that's at home. And outings are usually easier too, you guys,
Mhm.
because you're more aware, they're more aware of the social implications of peeing and pooping in front of people, which
Mhm.
is why having a not potty trained 3-year old, they like don't want to go in front of people. So we need to be aware of that and potty trained so that they can feel better, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the most challenging stages, and I was actually just talking with the mom who is having this too, is what about the stage? Not all babies go through it, but some of them really do, where they will only poop standing up.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a thing. Marilyn's dad's leaving. Let me just tell you, leave Marilyn with the boys. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
We've got switcho changeo downstairs right now. Oh my gosh. Pooping only while standing is a thing. Um, I've had people improvise. So there's this really strong desire to only stand no matter what you're doing, and it's developmental and it
Yeah,
passes.
it does.
So the thing to remember is it'll pass. And then how do you get them to sit is usually by a special potty toy. I
Mhm.
love those ones that look like a worm and they have like the hole in the middle and they just like have goo inside and you can just endlessly like play with them.
Okay.
Something to catch their attention so they sit. I also have, I don't see them in here, but I wrote a couple of board books that are about using the potty, tiny
Mhm.
potty and night potty. Oftentimes, parents will tell me that they'll have just that book right next to the potty, and that'll have them sit. Um, Another way to get a kid to sit to poop is to put them on a toilet seat reducer on a big toilet and then give them privacy. And this is a risk. So I am not to be held accountable for your decisions. I line the floor with towels or pillows the first time I do this. If my kids have ever jumped off the toilet, it's only been once. If you're close enough where they can jump off into your arms, they will. So, what I would like to do to give privacy, usually around 8 months, they start to fuss or get up off the mini potty and they don't want to stay seated. I'll put them on the big toilet and then I will be like, oh, I'll be right back. I forgot something. And I'll go out and I'll kind of listen around the door. Once they have privacy, you hear them start to grunt and or pee and poop, and it just happens magically. This is like one of the most magical things I could teach. It's you're giving privacy, but you're still nearby.
Yeah.
Um, each of my children had a certain number of feet that I needed to be sitting away for them to actually go. And some of
Mhm.
them wanted to be able to see me still, and some of them didn't.
Yep.
Some of them would take the shower curtain, put it in front of them while they're on the potty, which is great. Another way to do this if you don't feel comfortable is to put a mini potty, a little short one, in the bathroom. You're all in there together. You take the pants off your child, you close the door so you're both in it, and just say, hey, put your poop in that potty and really just avert your attention to something else. So you're not focusing on them. You are, like to say, like picking the grout out of the tiles on the wall or like doing your hair. Once they have that feeling of privacy, they'll usually go, okay, I'm going to just sit and do this because I really need to.
Yeah.
All else fails,
You
we
should
have them go
train
in
the
the
birth
stand up
workers.
shower. What's that?
You should train the birth workers on this.
Right.
Right? Like
Yes,
you nurse needs that or
I
not nurse,
know.
like the birth suite attendants and all of that. Like
Please give them privacy
give
because
them
they
privacy.
will have the baby faster if you don't disturb the process. I wrote a book on that too.
Yeah.
Brave New Birth, because I was just like, I can't
Oh,
know all
good.
this. Oh yeah, Brave New Birth is. I don't even promote it. I'm just like, this is my Wapio, and I learned all this stuff from her, and then like did all this research, and just like, okay, if we don't disturb birth, but it's the same thing with pooping. Okay, so birth, poop, sex, any of these things that are super intimate, we do best when we're not being watched. Our sphincters
Mhm.
work. Everything is better. The hormones are flowing.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario with a standing pooper, I would put them in the stand up shower or in the bathtub and just let them do it there and put a toilet in there too and let them have the option and then just clean it off. I will say that it will pass. You could put a potty outside and say, put your poop in there or just squat over the ground. And once they start to squat and poop, they'll be like, this does feel better
Yeah.
because it's how we're supposed to poop.
Hmm.
Lots of possibilities. We with
Yeah.
our books, we have a coach who works in our Facebook groups and she helps with all the problems. And
Oh, good.
I sometimes am in there too, but like we have literally seen everything. and there's and it's the baby who's standing up pooping in an intact community could just crawl outside and go outside and hold onto a tree.
Yeah.
So there's this wiring that they just don't really need our help from the time they're crawling. And then there's clothing and beds and
Hmm.
toilets and all the things that we have to kind
Yeah.
of.
Exactly. I know we're
Oh,
getting close to our time here. That's the last question that I have.
I'll go on and on about everything. Sorry.
Oh, I'm that way too. Get me talking about stuff. Yeah, it's so fun. Um, yeah, clothing, because when babies are ready and they have learned all of this, like like they're in control of their bowel movements and pee faster than they can be in control of their like clothing fasteners
Oh,
and stuff.
absolutely.
So
Totally.
yeah.
What do we do? I have so one of my tiny undies and tiny trainers is called Bear. It's like the Learn undies that I have. I also invented that because it dawned on me one day I had a sample of undies that had different colored leg holes because it was made from scraps. And my then like year old could put them on. Whereas usually she'd put two
Ooh,
legs in one hole.
yeah.
So the
That
Learn
drives me
undies have,
crazy.
yeah, I was like, duh, light bulb. So I had these made and it has the bear from my board books upside
Mhm.
down. So you turn the underwear so the bear is looking at you. And then there's orange places to put your hands. And then there's a blue hole and a gray hole. And that helps them self
Brilliant.
dress. It takes like 10 seconds and then it translates to all of their other clothing and they can now like it's brilliant. I really need to promote that one more, but I only have like so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
anyway,
well, I'm gonna go and get a set of those
go
because
get a set of those and then you're good. But really it's not, you can't really expect a child to properly wipe till like 2 or 3, but we can show them and teach them the motion of it. That's on my YouTube channel. I teach how to do that. Um we can teach them how to push their pants down halfway, have a little stool and they sit on it and then help them push them the rest of the way off. So there's ways that it's very Montessori based in my books about how to set the environment and teach the parts and at what age to teach them, because it's true. I also sell chaps, baby chaps, Kaidang Ku from China, and they have a giant hole. So the
Yep.
child can like go whenever they want and not have to worry about taking their pants down.
Yeah. My boy who went fastest wore your baby chaps.
Nice. I love it. They're
He's like,
called
I
tiny
love it.
chaps.
Like, this is great. And yeah,
They're so
and then
cute.
I noticed
Yeah.
if I put the diaper on him, he would use the diaper. But if I didn't, he wouldn't. So I was like, okay,
Right.
we're done.
We're
And
done. Yeah. I know.
earlier than I was comfortable with, but
Y'all,
he,
daytime diapers, just get rid of them once your child's walking if you've been exposing them to the potty all the time already. And
yeah.
I will tell you, they rise to the occasion. They're like, oh, good,
Mhm.
because I'm in charge. And it's way before the no stage. Like, who wants to teach a 3-year-old anything? It's so hard to get them to do what you want them to do.
Mhm.
They're going to do the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, just like there's so many options. I think that the biggest thing about EC, like I've saved over $12,000 in diapers across 6 kids. So that's good. I have definitely, I feel like I have a really strong connection with them. They're very securely attached. They're amazing in the world. They're regulated. They weren't crazy toddlers. Like their behavior was normalized. They fussed a lot less than I'd noticed other kids' baby. And it's not like my babies were better than anybody else, but I just saw such immediate effects.
Yeah.
Zero diaper rash. 95% of babies have diaper rash. Mine had none. And we just, I don't know, just the smiles you get out of it. Like it's
Mhm.
so worth it. It's so great that they see you trying. And it's like, we just stick with it. We're going to keep feeding our baby. We're going to keep helping them nap. We're going to keep offering the potty. And then eventually they're going to use the fork on their own. Eventually they're going to go to bed when you tell them to. um, and put on their pajamas themselves, right?
Mhm.
All these things have like a timeline. And we've been taught that it's wait for readiness. That's diaper companies wanting you to wait to sell more product. Be gentle. That's diaper companies. They did a study because nobody wanted their diapers and it changed. It doubled and tripled our age. So we need to question where this information is coming from
Yeah.
because it doesn't feel right.
Yep.
So we could do something about it. And I don't care if you do EC or early potty training or regular potty training, but all the resources are there. So you can choose what you want. But your baby is just always ready. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job building it all out, and it's so great. You have all of the different entrance points and everything so welcoming. And are you still doing business coaching? You were helping moms for a while
Yes.
with their businesses. So do you want to speak to that for the last 5 minutes and
Yeah,
what?
of course.
Because I we have some entrepreneurs and other coaches and stuff.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So I've had my online passive income business since my first child was 5 months old. So
Awesome.
it's
Was it this?
it's like I swear I always say God had me set that up back then because he knew I would be a single mom of 6 kids who needed to pay for it. I don't get child support. It provides for our family and then some. And I only have to work. I don't even have to work every day, you guys. So like I could work 3 minutes a day if I just had a baby or not at all. I got divorced a couple years ago and I didn't work for 6 months and my business kept making the same amount of money. So I coach entrepreneurs in the Simply Mompreneur program. About to expand it beyond moms, but it's just for the women who are built for like they want to have babies, but they also want to have a business, but you don't want to miss out on your baby's childhood. So I help women set up and run not just like an Instagram business to a product that doesn't matter, but actually like figure out what the best idea is for them and help them make money on one platform with that idea. And I am everywhere. I've learned all the things. I've had great coaches and mentors myself. So I'm currently mentoring a small group of mompreneurs, and it's kind of private, but I'm about to open the doors again. July 1st, actually, our next coaching, 12-week coaching starts and it's awesome. And I feel like since it's so private, I kind of only open it up to my main email list, which is about 100,000 people, but they're all like, if you're doing EC or like, if you're probably a little bit ambitious. So there might be some people in there who wants to do, I'd be like, I haven't really brought it to the public, but
Yeah.
we've had a lot of success stories and a lot of fun. because being a mom and having a business is super hard. Um, but I've been doing it for 15 years and I've mastered all the parts of it. So for that, I guess just email me. I don't know.
Sounds
Because
good.
it's pretty private. And
Yeah.
I'll send you what I'm sending the people on my list. That's my email in the chat. So you can just send me an email if you're interested in our entrepreneurship coaching program. And it's really affordable and it's a program. You get lifetime access and I update things all the time. And then we do like live coaching like this. We're just like solving problems. I do glow ups. I figure out I redo everybody's stuff because I'm like really fast at it and help you find your people. I'm so blessed to be able to help people. Like I get people walk up to me all the time and they're just like, "Oh my gosh, you changed our parenting journey." I'm like, "Great, that's awesome. I'm so excited. I
Mhm.
feel useful, you know?" And I'm providing. So there's
Yeah.
that. It's really
Yeah.
fun. Thanks for
Yeah,
mentioning
you
it.
are. You're so generous. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I want to give everyone like the full spread so they can go over and head over. Yeah, so appreciate your time and expertise and yeah, everything you shared. I think the moms will get so much out of it, and you probably empowered quite a few to either do what they're doing better or maybe start with something new.
Yeah, of course. Y'all have my website, right? And my other stuff.
Yeah, and I'll put links to it. I'll get the replay process and sent out later this week.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. Go diaper free. I'm so easy to find. My TikTok is tiny. I'm embarrassed of it, but we're about to focus on that on YouTube just because I want to get more people aware of this. If you don't want to do it, tell your friends because somebody is dying to know this. And it's going to come to me 10 years later and say, "Where were you? My kids were young." I don't want that to happen. You know,
Yep.
we have options, you guys, and our babies are so excited for us to learn this.
Yep. Yeah. We did have a few moms leave comments like that too. They're like, oh, I wish I would have known about it, but I'll pass it on. I'm like,
Right.
beautiful.
That's how it happens.
All right.
Oh, thank you
Wonderful.
guys.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Yes. We are so grateful to you. Yeah. Such an inspiration. Thank you, everyone who showed up today. And we will see you all again soon. We have, yeah, group coaching beginning in July, and our next community class in ours is going to be postpartum planning. So I'll probably link to this again with that next replay because this will be part of it, I'm sure.
Yes, plan for it. It's so easy to start on day one. Oh my gosh, so easy.
Yep, it really is.
Yep.
Wonderful. Okay, take care, everyone.
Thank you.